So, this video, Don't Need You, is about King Saul. I don't know how much you know about King Saul, but he was, in technicality, he was the first king of Israel, all the way back in roughly 1010, no, about 1050 BC, and before King David came along. And what we know about King David, and they're very connected, these two, but Saul, the House of Saul, if you've watched House of David on Prime, the House of Saul, you can see Saul going mad. And there's a warning from the Lord. Here's what the Israelites said in 1 Samuel 8. Israel requests a king. And so, they said, give us a king to judge us like all the other nations have. Samuel was displeased with their request and went to the Lord for guidance. Do everything they say to you, the Lord replied, for they are rejecting me, not you. They don't want me to be their king any longer. Ever since I brought them from Egypt, they have continually abandoned me and followed other gods. And now they are giving you the same treatment. Do as they ask, but solemnly warn them about the way the king will reign over them. This is how the king will reign over you, Samuel said. The king will draft your sons and assign them to chariots and charioteers, making them run before his chariots. Some will be generals and captains in his army. Some will be forced to plow his fields and harvest his crops, and some will make his weapons and chariot equipment. The king will take your daughters from you and force them to cook and bake and make perfumes for him. He will take away the best of your fields and vineyards and olive groves and give them to his own officials. He will take 1/10 of your grain and your grape harvest and distribute it among his officers and attendants. He will take your male and female slaves and demand the finest of your cattle and donkeys for his own use. He will demand 1/10 of your flocks, and you will be his slaves. When the day comes, you will beg for relief from this king you are demanding, but then the Lord will not help you. And then the people refused to listen to Samuel's warning. Even so, we still want a king. Well, it turns out King Saul was a very wicked king. He started off good. He started off anointed by the Lord with oil and from the olives. And that's how he anointed kings back then. And Samuel, he won some victories over the Amalekites and Philistines a little bit here and there, and was, appearing to free Israel. Well, then he directly disobeyed the Lord. He was told all the instructions one day to take out the entire Amalekite, I believe it was Amalekite, the Amalekite army, including the king, including all the flocks, literally everything. The Lord said, you will eviscerate these people. They are wicked people, they worship false gods, and they oppressed Israel. Well, King Saul, he defeated the Amalekites but did not fulfill what the Lord had wanted and decreed. And so, Saul would eventually take for himself all the good stuff. How do you think government officials are these days? Of course, they tax us to death, and they take all the good stuff. They become rich while we become poor. Saul was like that. And so, and Samuel told him, although you may think little of yourself, are you not the leader of the tribes of Israel? The Lord has anointed you king of Israel. And the Lord sent you on a mission and told you, go and completely destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, until they are all dead. Why haven't you obeyed the Lord? Why did you rush for the plunder and do what was evil in the Lord's sight? He just wanted the plunder for himself. And then Saul insisted, but I did obey the Lord. I carried out the mission he gave me. I brought back King Agag, but I destroyed everyone else. Then my troops brought in the best of the sheep, goats, cattle, and plunder to sacrifice to the Lord in Gilgal. Then Samuel said, what is more pleasing to the Lord, your burnt offerings and sacrifices, or your obedience to his voice? Listen, obedience is better than sacrifices. Submission is better than offering the fat of rams. Rebellion is as sinful as witchcraft, and stubbornness as bad as worshipping idols. So because you have rejected the command of the Lord, he has rejected you as king. Then Saul admitted, yes, I have sinned. I've disobeyed your instructions and the Lord's command, for I was afraid of the people and did what they demanded. But now, please forgive my sin and come back with me so I may worship the Lord. And Samuel replied, I will not go back with you. Since you have rejected the Lord's command, he has rejected you as king of Israel. As Samuel turned to go, Saul tried to hold him back and tore the hem of his robe. And Samuel said to him, the Lord has torn the kingdom of Israel from you today and has given it to someone else, one who is better than you. And he who is the glory of Israel will not lie, nor will he change his mind, for he is not human that he should change his mind. So, King Saul had direct commands from the king, the King of Kings, the Lord, the God of Israel. And yet, he saw what was worldly and took it for himself. He did half the job. He rebelled and sought out the wisdom of man over that of the Lord. And so his kingdom was taken away, torn away. The Lord doesn't need him anymore. And so, in our lives, are we going to be obedient to the Lord, or are we going to be obedient to what the world wants, to what man wants? Because if we are rebellious like Saul, like the servants in the parables of Jesus, he has given us much, and we are to produce much. We are to produce good fruit. We are to go out and make disciples. We are to be the light. And so what if we don't do that? Well, then we're just fooling ourselves. We're not servants of the Lord. We're just following the world and our flesh and our own desires, even though we may appear godly. Look how Saul wanted to appear godly by offering all of the plunder to the Lord. Well, that's not what the Lord directed. He doesn't need any of that stuff. He needs your heart. And that's it. So do not be King Saul. And follow the Lord. I encourage you today. Follow the Lord, and you will be given what your true reward is. You will be given your allotment based on how you handle the Lord's commission. And so, that is it. Enjoy the video. Thank you.